the start of another beautiful day. Tonight I want to talk to you guys about moving country in a bit more detail, because it was such a big change of lifestyle. It made me who I am today. I was 11 years old when my family decided to move us from Romania to New Zealand. Romania is this fish-looking country in the middle of Europe. Just over 20 million people living there. I don't know, maybe less now because they're in the European Union and everyone's running away, I guess. But we lived at the nose of this fish next to Hungary and in a place called Timișoara. And I'll paint you a quick picture of what my life looked like as a child. We lived in a small apartment in a block, and there was blocks all around us. So there was thousands of people around us at all times. I went to school and hated it. The teachers would hit me and I hated school. But I loved to get home and play with all the people, all the kids. We were free, we were running around, kicking the ball around, and I was always coming home late. I loved it. My mother was a stay-at-home mother, and my dad worked a lot. He was always traveling around the country working. One day, they decided it was time for my mother to work. So my mom bought a newspaper which had a small advertisement that said they were hiring qualified people in New Zealand. And my dad's job was on the list. So it was a great opportunity for us to escape Romania. They applied, and after a lot of troubles, I remember one time the whole family was in the room because you have to do an interview in English for your visa. And the whole family was in the room with this guy that could speak English because my dad couldn't speak English good enough. And all this paperwork was set out on the table with all the information about us, ready for him to answer questions. And we were all there like listening to him talking to immigration. And I remember when they said how much Dad was gonna get paid, they were like, it's $18 an hour. And we were all like, yeah, $18 an hour, woo, we're gonna be rich. So yeah, there was a little bit of illegal activity. Anyway, I came home from school one day and my mum was on the phone to immigration and they said that we got accepted. Once she turned the phone off, she said, we're going to New Zealand. I started crying, I fell down on the floor. I was so happy, oh my God, we're going to New Zealand. I was so happy because I didn't have to go to school anymore for a while. That's why I was happy. And I remember I liked this girl at the time. So I called the girl, I think we were still using the phones with the krr, krr, krr. So I called this girl up and I was saying, we're going to New Zealand, I'm moving to this island. It's sunny every day there, the whole year it's sunny, and I'm never gonna see you again. And yeah, that's when I found out that we were going to New Zealand. I had a quick look on the globe to see where New Zealand was. It was this little place at the bottom of the earth. So we were super excited. We were gonna get to go on a plane. Never been on a plane before. Anyway, before we left, my father got us a tutor to come and teach us English. We were learning English at school as well, but you don't care. Like, you're speaking Romanian, everyone around you is speaking Romanian. You don't want to learn English, or I didn't anyway. I was too busy playing with the kids outside in the snow when we were supposed to be getting tutored. And 1 or 2 days before we left Romania, there was a rugby game on the TV, and my dad said quickly, like, have a look, this is the sport they play there, rugby. because in Romania we play football. And it started with New Zealand doing the haka. And I seen their shit on TV. I was like, what is that? Where are we going? Anyway, long story short, we almost missed our flight because we didn't know that we had to be there so early and there was a crash. So we were running with our luggage to catch our flight. The plane was waiting for us. Fortunately, we caught the flight. We got to New Zealand and it wasn't sunny. It was cold. We moved to Christchurch first. It was cold and windy and we were thinking, uh-oh, like what is this? I remember that my first couple of sentences in English, they were to my dad's boss and his wife. They picked us up and drove us around a little bit to show us around. And I remember my first two questions were, where is the pizza? And where is the McDonald's? I was so interested in knowing these unhealthy foods. I don't know, for us in Romania, I was like, you go there once in a while, it's like a restaurant. But here I didn't know it was so common. Anyway, in Romania I was crying because I didn't have to go to school anymore. I was so happy. We come to New Zealand and after 3 days I was in school. Shit. I turned up at school. I have no idea what's going on. I'm there freaking out. A couple of the boys were picking on me because I was different, I guess. Now at lunchtimes we were playing rugby, not soccer. And I took it really seriously, like I was really tackling the people and I was going hard to show them who I was. I remember at the supermarket, this lady, you know how they always say, how are you today? How are you? And this lady goes, how are you? And I said, 11. And that stuck with me. It was like a little trauma. I remember walking through the malls because we didn't have any malls in the city where I came from at the time. So I remember walking in the malls and looking at the shiny things and the building was so big. I was like, wow, so pretty. And I also remember people walking with no shoes on in the supermarket and in their pajamas, and we were in shock. We couldn't believe what was happening. And our family was, for the first time, stuck together. We didn't have any friends, no family. We went from having these big meetups with everybody, my cousins, all of them, and doing things, to just being us. Us in this house with no English, windy, cold weather, and we realized that $18 an hour was actually nothing when you have 2 kids and you have to pay rent and school and whatever. And problems started. We started to see some arguments, money problems, etc. But that's how it started. That was our move to New Zealand. Day 68.